Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this 30-day series where we're going to be doing some exploring of sobriety. We're going to be cultivating emotional well-being, and we're going to be embracing holistic health so that we can have a year of strength, growth, and vibrant living. So, with that said, with this being the very first episode, I know I promised you that they would be short and that you would only have to dedicate roughly 15 minutes every day to the series. I wanted to prompt you to right now get a notepad, have a pen, have a piece of paper, something that you can take notes on, or just listen in and then come back later. So this very first episode, I do want to invite you to send me an email and request a PDF, a secure PDF that is fillable of the content that we're going to cover, because you can check in with yourself and monitor your growth. You can also check for new vulnerabilities, new risk factors, and things like that. So this particular topic that we're going to be talking about, this is a way to evaluate yourself, and it comes straight from all of my education in behavioral psychology, and so it's just a very short, brief version, but it's a way to give you a glimpse. And I would highly recommend that once you have your answers, perhaps you lean in and schedule a little bit of a consultation with me so that it can help you decipher how best or where best to focus with all of the other episodes that are coming behind this one. Anyway, so we're going to dive in by breaking you down. And we're going to be breaking you down into 6 primary categories that create whole health. So this is going to be a really quick whole health evaluation that you can do for yourself. And you're going to be scoring yourself in a numeric value. So number 1, or you're going to give yourself a 1 if your answer is never. You're going to give yourself a number 2 if your answer is rarely. You're going to give yourself a 3 if your answer is some of the time. And you're going to give yourself a 4 if your answer is usually or always. Now, I'm a very literal person. So when I say never, I mean never. So if you're not 100% certain on what those things, the definition of those words, never, rarely, some of the time, usually, or always, look them up, because I'm very literal. And the more genuine and honest you get with yourself, with your answers, the better it's going to be. So we're going to be diving into your physical health, your social health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your intellectual health, your environmental health, and we're going to be answering some really quick questions, okay? So we're going to start out with your physical health. Ask yourself this question, and again, remember, never, rarely, some of the time, usually, or always. I am happy with my body size. I engage in vigorous exercise for 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. I get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night. My immune system is strong and my body heals itself quickly when I get sick or injured. My favorite, I listen to my body when there is something wrong. I try to make adjustments to heal it or seek professional advice. So take a minute to think about those things and give yourself a numeric value for each one. With your social health, ask yourself these questions. I am open, honest, and get along well with others. I participate in a wide variety of social activities and enjoy being with people who are different from me. I try to be a better person and decrease behaviors that cause problems interacting with others. I am open and accessible to loving and responsible relationships. I try to see the good in my friends and do whatever I can to support them and help them feel good about themselves. Again, listen to those, give yourself a numeric value, think about it, let it set in. There's no benefit in rushing through it. Your emotional health. I find it easy to laugh, cry, and show emotion like love, fear, and anger, and I try to express them in a positive, constructive way. I avoid using alcohol or other drugs as a means of helping me forget my problems. I recognize when I'm stressed and I take steps to relax through exercise, quiet time, or other calming activities. I try not to be too critical or judgmental of others. I am flexible and I adapt or adjust to change in a positive way. Environmental health. I take responsible steps to care for the world we live in and on, such as recycling measures, and I am product conscious. I take necessary steps to limit exposure to people that do not hold similar morals or ethics. I am conscious about the safety of my surroundings. I avoid situations, people, and places that will have a negative impact on my cognitive functioning. I keep my personal environments clean and organized. Your spiritual health. I take time alone to think about what's important in life, who I am, what I value, where I fit in, and where I am going. I have faith in a greater power, be it a supreme being, nature, or the connectedness of all living things. I engage in acts of caring and goodwill without expecting something in return. I sympathize and empathize with those who are suffering, try to help them through difficult times. I go for the gusto and experience life to the fullest. Now, our intellectual health. Think about this one. I carefully consider my options and possible consequences as I make choices in life. I learn from my mistakes and try to act differently the next time. I have at least one hobby, learning activity, or personal growth activity that I make time for each week, something that improves me as a person. I manage my time well rather than let time manage me. My friends and family trust my judgment. Now, if you send me an email and you request a copy of the PDF, right, you're going to also have a sheet that's going to talk to you a little bit about what the different scores mean. Whether your score is outstanding, whether your score shows a level of health risks, and where you can start to explore for information, or if you have really some significant issues that you want to be taking into consideration with regard to your health. But for now, let's talk about this. What I want to do is look at each of those categories, all 6 categories individually, and total up, right? So for just the physical health, look at adding up the number for each one. So at the end of each category, you'll have a total score for that section. Okay, and then you're going to want to look at your overall scores from each section. So you'll add each section to each other. So there'll be 6 numbers that you'll add up and see what your score comes up for each, for the collective whole of your health. And then we can have a truly deep and meaningful conversation. Again, below you're going to see some links. I'm going to drop in some information so you'll have a little brief explanation of what your scores mean. I look forward to chatting with you, and make sure you follow along for all 30 episodes. I'll talk to you soon.